Welcome back. As the government shutdown drags on, life becomes a lot more uncertain for about 42 million Americans who rely on those SNAP benefits. Kendra Davenport joins me now. She's president and CEO of Easterseals, which provides health and welfare services to children and adults with special needs. Where do you think we're at right now, Kendra, in this whole SNAP cliffhanger?
I think we're facing an existential crisis that could, as you said, affect 42 million Americans who rely on SNAP to put food on the table.
Big cities, small cities?
I think it's across America. Food insecurity impacts every state in the union. So this isn't a red state or a blue state problem. This is an American problem. 42 million Americans, a lot of misconceptions about SNAP. For starters, it's been said, people think, oh, people benefiting from SNAP are unemployed. Not true. 82% of all SNAP receiving households have at least one full-time employee, someone with a full-time job. 4 out of 5 households have a person with a disability, an elderly person, or a child. And almost 40% of all SNAP recipients are children. So I don't think Americans want children to go to bed hungry. This is a problem. We must maintain SNAP funding.
What does it look like in the first few days if there's no SNAP benefits? You've got a unique vantage point on this.
It's an immediate crisis for families. SNAP funding stops tomorrow. By Monday, families that rely on that funding are wondering where their next meal is coming from. That's what it means to be food insecure. Food insecurity didn't become a problem in America overnight. Some people are shocked to learn that 42 million Americans receive SNAP benefits. This is a looming problem that has become a problem over decades. And a lot of factors weigh into that. It's everything from joblessness to inflation to the cost of groceries. And it impacts people we serve. Easterseals has served people for over 100 years, predominantly people with disabilities, but also elderly people and veterans. All of those vulnerable groups of people are impacted. Many of them rely on SNAP. So it's not a problem that is just for minorities. This is, as I said, an American problem that affects all of us.
The food bank lines, we see them on our phones, we see them on television. They've been pretty long already.
They're growing.
Does that absorb any of this population?
Food banks, for every meal that a food bank provides, SNAP provides 9. So while food banks augment what the federal government is doing to eradicate and address food insecurity, it's not enough. If SNAP benefits run out and they're not funded, food banks and charities, even if every charity in America was working to help feed people and to give them the food and sustenance they need, it wouldn't be enough. SNAP benefits must continue. And yes, absolutely, we need to figure out the food insecurity problem and address it so that we can get out of this, so we can reduce the number of people on SNAP. But that isn't going to happen overnight. And right now, we need to make sure people have SNAP benefits they need to feed their families.
So if that safety net, the safety net you'd get, Kendra, from a food bank or those charities at the church aren't going to absorb the need, what do organizations like Easterseals, people may now turn to more directly or declaratively? What kind of role can you play?
What we've been doing is giving out lists of food banks where people can go to access food. We're working with groceries to ensure that food is available and that they make donations if they can. We're working with other nonprofits, partnering to help avoid a crisis. And we're helping families navigate emergency resources. But that's it.
What does a family
that means,
mobilizing?
Okay, I don't have any food. They come to Easterseals. Where do I go? We'll try to stave that gap, provide them with food, give them, identify resources they can go to beyond that. Because right now, as you said, what's it look like today? Today, it looks like I can't afford food. Next week, it looks like, do I pay for my medication or can I skip a few months if that means I can buy groceries for my family? Easterseals affiliates are dealing with this and have been dealing with this for years. If a family has a child with a disability and they rely on Easterseals to provide that child with therapy, our affiliates don't want them to have to face or make a decision of whether or not to pay for gas to get that child to therapy or pay for food. If you're talking about paying for food for the whole family, what do you think the decision is going to be?
Yeah.
they're not going to get that child therapy.
Very impactful, the important days ahead. Kendra Davenport, thanks for explaining it to us. Thanks for the work you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you.